Welcome back to Common Sense, everyone, where common minds come together because
common sense ain't that common, y'all. And it's that time of year once again. We got another Spider-Man movie dropping, so we thought this would be the perfect time to go back in time, relive a little bit of some of our favorite movies, and give you a top 5 Spider-Man movie list going into Spider-Man Brand New Day. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, so we're gonna go 5 to 1. 5 being a movie that we don't think necessarily tops off the list, but is still really good. 1 being the movie that we think is the best Spider-Man movie. So Deandra, you can start us off. What's your 5?
So at my 5, I have Homecoming, Tom Holland. Simply because I just don't think, first of all, Tom Holland is probably my least favorite Spider-Man, not to be rude to him or
Zendaya gonna be in the comments.
But not to like be rude or anything. Like, I still think he's a really good Spider-Man, really good Peter Parker, but he's just not my favorite. So I think Homecoming was probably my favorite movie out of all of his movies, I would say. When we're doing this video, we are very aware that all of the Spider-Mans are different. You know what I'm saying? They're different for a reason, and everyone has their favorites. Everyone has the one that they lean to a little bit more. But I think that his interpretation was very different. I think Homecoming was a great movie, had a great story structure as far as him, you know, not really having a lot of responsibility because of the Avengers and Tony Stark, but then him losing that and trying basically to figure out who he is and basically who he is as Spider-Man, and basically figuring out how to deal with that responsibility without the bigger name superheroes. And the plot twist with Vulture was amazing in my opinion. I think that really made the movie as well. But I just can't put it above all of the other movies that I have on this list, and that's why it's at my 5.
And you said the plot twist was amazing, and that's gonna be what I'm gonna start off with. As my number 5 is Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man. A lot of his movies get forgotten, and it's a little bit because he's Peter Parker longer than he is Spider-Man in a lot of these movies, and we go to the movie to see Spider-Man. But there were so many great story elements in these, especially the route that none of the other Spider-Man iterations took with his parents. This Asian part of it, we got to see that. We got to see a different angle of what it was. We still got the Uncle Ben trope where he dies, which Tom Holland's didn't do, and I actually kind of like that they kind of fast forwarded that because it kind of gets overplayed in a sense. But Andrew Spider-Man to me was so special because he kind of had all the necessities of the Spider-Man. He had the quips, the way he fought. I think it was incredibly unique. We just were starved of it a little because we kept getting more Peter Parker moments. And I also think he has the best love interest out of everybody.
It's not even, that's not even a competition.
It was amazing. I think Andrew Garfield really displayed that he was the best actor as far as all of the Spider-Mans that we've seen. And I just thought it was a really good movie, especially the action sequences when he's fighting the lizard in the high school and he's crawling over him, and I just think he really embodies what Spider-Man was. The
fights actually look like a spider is fighting.
But it has to be 5 because he wasn't Spider-Man enough. He was not Spider-Man enough. But I do think he definitely deserves to be on the list. So what we going? What we going for?
Okay, so at 4 I have Spider-Man 1.
Okay.
And you know that's
Sam Raimi.
Right, Sam Raimi, yes. Tobey Maguire, sorry. But basically kind of it's in a weird spot because
some people will be like, this needs to be higher.
This needs to be higher. But I can't rightfully so put it above the other movies in my personal opinion. It's a really great movie, don't get me wrong. One of the greatest like introductions to a superhero in my opinion, specifically Spider-Man. Due to, I think Green Goblin really carries that movie in my opinion. Like, and I don't get me wrong, like I love Tobey as his character in Spider-Man, as Spider-Man 2 and like the fight, not 2 but 2 TOO. But I really think that the performance that Willem Dafoe puts on as Green Goblin really brings that movie to light. I don't need to talk about the love interest because to me she kind of takes away from the movie. Yeah, I can't stand her. I'm not gonna lie that like that doesn't play a part in it, but the movie is great. But I don't know. It's a lot of nitpicking because they're all really good. So I don't really have any like negative things. Although I do believe Toby as an actor lacks as a Peter Parker, like as far as like being able to portray emotion, I do think that he kind of lacks in comparison to the other two, which is a part of the reason why this is at 4 as well. But yeah, it's really nitpicking at this point. Like I don't have definitive negative things to say. It's just kind of picking which ones I like better. And I would have to put that one as 4.
That's fair. I'm gonna go with your 5 at my 4 is Spider-Man Homecoming. I do think this movie, although he has so many gadgets and everything because he has the suit from Tony Stark, that suit does get taken away from him in this movie as a punishment. He has to kind of grow and figure out how to be a superhero, how to try to balance that with school life. And that internal struggle to me is what makes the movie so good. And you also finally get, because to me, Tom Holland doesn't have a lot of scenes where it's like, yes, right. You are the Spider-Man. And so when he's buried underneath, I don't know if it was like a building or like a pillar, and he's lifting it up, that's straight from the comics, you know what I'm saying? He has to overcome some stuff. And even when he's fighting the Vulture in the last scene, it's with a makeshift suit that he had to go out and create. And I just think, again, the twist with the Vulture
was crazy.
Great.
When he opens that door and you're like,
wait a minute.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they both know who each other are, right?
Yeah.
Really good. And I mean, you kind of said most of the stuff about Homecoming as well, which we're gonna kind of do as this continues to go on. But yeah, I definitely have that as my 4.
All right, so at 3, I have the Amazing Spider-Man, and like we said, I know. Everyone is going to think that everyone's gonna talk about the criticism of this movie, but no one ever talks about how the positives of this movie. I think the origin of the parents is a really high positive, as you said, because it's something different. We never get any information into their parents. We know about Uncle Ben and Aunt May, and that's it. I love that they went into like a different route, and even in 2 we get even more information on them. But in 1, I also like Andrew Garfield. To me, would undoubtedly be the best Spider-Man if it did not have to do with the lack of appearances as Spider-Man. And he's a great Peter Parker in my opinion. We get to showcase how smart he is in the movie. We rarely get to see how smart he is in these movies sometimes, if we're really just being honest. I think that's a part of his character that the movies leave out in some instances. The love interest is miles ahead of the other love interests. When you see the banter and how Peter is a little bit awkward and he doesn't really know how to approach girls, but she's more extroverted, you know what I'm saying? And she kind of plays off of that. She never really judges him for that.
You see his confidence grow as the movie goes.
Right.
He spun her around.
Right. The way that he revealed how he was Spider-Man to her was so sweet. And I also love the storytelling with him and her father, with the police force, and how sometimes, the superhero is always going to be beefing with the police sometimes, because the police are like, you stepping on our toes. Well, the superhero is like, okay, we'll do your job. I love the tandem between those two, and especially the moment where sadly, Gwen's dad passes. Yeah, like that is one of the most emotional moments of the movie. And as I say, like, the critique of him not being Spider-Man enough is very valid. I felt that way. And I think one of the low parts of the movie is also the villain. At the same time, when you compare it to Green Goblin and Doc Ock, then it's kind of like, it does pale in comparison. But there are high moments, like the crane scene. The crane scene was really good. I love the crane scene. Or the moment where he finally realizes he doesn't have to be vengeful anymore, and he saves that little kid from the car that's dangling off of the bridge. Like, that is a really good moment to me. And I feel like everyone always kind of nitpicks at it because it is kind of a darker version of Spider-Man, or depiction of Spider-Man. But I still think it is very good in my opinion.
Okay. At 3, because what did you have your Spider-Man 1 at? Your Sam Raimi Spider-Man?
The 1?
Yeah.
Oh, I had that at 4.
So you had that at 4. Okay, so we're kind of going right after each other now. So Spider-Man 1, Sam Raimi's Tobey Maguire is going to be my number 3. This movie does this. I'm not going to say nostalgia plays a part in this, but just the music alone. When you hear the orchestra play as Spider-Man is swinging through or about to save someone, it is just everything. It's like, as a kid, it's what you imagine Spider-Man would be like, and I definitely think the music and the sounds put you there. But also, like you said, Willem Dafoe puts on a crazy performance as Green Goblin, and that is a big part of why this movie is so good. But if you look at even the rest of the cast, I mean, everyone kind of played a really huge part in making this, because to me it's probably the start of why superhero movies became so popular after this, because I feel like they executed things so well. And even seeing Peter have to decide between Mary Jane and this bus of kids that the Green Goblin is holding up to the very end, to where the glider goes through Green Goblin, I think it's just a culmination of things, and that's what makes those Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies so good.
I would argue though that, see, like we said, it gets kind of the nitpicking at this point, where it's kind of like, are we looking at things from is it a Spider-Man movie, or are we just looking at it as a general film? And like, if that makes sense.
You know, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so like, certain things that we look for in a Spider-Man movie, but then also at the same time, what is the better film? Because as an overall film, when you take into consideration story and plot, I would take The Amazing Spider-Man, because I thought the story, or I thought the overall structure of the story was a little bit better.
So what I'll push back against that, I think some of the story building is why this is ranked so low on a lot of people's lists, because it takes so long for
to get to that
build
point,
up to it. And I think just for an opening Spider-Man movie, you want to see Spider-Man. And I'm not gonna say too much about the second iteration of this movie,
but that's why I say it depends on what you're looking for. Because if you're a little bit, younger,
you're like, oh yeah, I want to see Spider-Man.
Yeah, I want to see Spider-Man.
I want to see somebody get hit. Yeah.
Right, but the thing that's crazy about the TASM movies is that a lot of people loved them when they first came out, but like over time,
it kind of didn't settle well. Yeah, it didn't. So we're now going into top two territory. And say that fast 8 times, but but our top 2 are interchangeable, because I feel like we're both gonna say the same top 2, but just in different orders.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and give your 2 and 1.
All right.
Now. Okay.
So my 2 and 1 at 2 is Spider-Man 2, and at 1,
I know you're punching the screen right now. So it's all right, guys. I got you.
I'm gonna explain why. Okay. So at 2 is Spider-Man 2, and at 1 is Into the Spider-Verse.
And mine is flip-flopped. I have Spider-Man 2 at my number 1, and I have Into the Spider-Verse at number 2. So tell us all why you have Spider-Man 2, which is, in my opinion, one of the greatest Marvel movies ever.
I'm not discrediting that. I'm not discrediting that. Okay, Spider-Man 2 is great. Okay, the villain, the fights, the train scene, it's beautiful, okay? But I would say Into the Spider-Verse is a new, refreshing take on Spider-Man after we've seen it done thousands of times already, right? And what makes it so special, not only is it the soundtrack, the comic book animation that we haven't seen, or at least haven't seen in a while up until that point. I'm not sure if it had been, never seen it like that. Like, to my knowledge, I've never seen anything like it before until that movie. When you look at it as a whole, not only did it stand for inclusion and diversity, but it didn't just throw it in your face like, hey, I'm an Afro-Latino, like, you know what I'm saying? It was put there.
Black.
Like, it wasn't basically obnoxious with it, in my opinion. But also, the villain was very good. Kingpin was very good, and not only was he a good villain, through him we got Uncle Aaron, and we saw his motivations, and we were able to empathize or sympathize with him a little bit. It wasn't just cut and dry as well. And also, I also love the different type of Spidey personas that we got in this movie. Because it's one thing, to see somebody get bit by a spider and they have to learn by themselves how to become Spider-Man. And we've seen that done the same way over and over again. But with Miles, we were able to see how he became Spider-Man, but he was also just, the weight of the world was on his shoulders because he's seen the way that everyone else was being Spider-Man. How do you fit into that when you have all of this responsibility on you, but you see everyone else doing it and doing it better than you? So you're like, how can I figure out how to basically be my own person and basically take the leap of faith and basically trust in my potential. And also you see that through the mentor as well. We never really see Spider-Man have a mentor per se, like to guide him through his life or guide him through the responsibility of being Spider-Man. And even then, there was a beautiful parallel between him and Peter B. Parker. Remember, he was home. Was he? No, I don't think he was homeless. I don't think he got that bad.
He was by himself.
He was broke. He didn't have a lot of money.
Right.
He had a divorce. He had an injury that basically made him stop being able to be a good Spider-Man for a while. And he was down on his luck too. So the fact that he was able to meet Miles, someone who was trying to basically try to figure out how to become a good version of Spider-Man or what his version of Spider-Man was, they ended up helping each other. And also how that parallels into his real life. Usually we see the theme of Spider-Man or Peter Parker trying to basically balance life and being a superhero, but having to sacrifice his personal life. Well, in this movie, in Into the Spider-Verse, Miles is basically trying to figure out where his potential is. You see him talking with his father and conversations about his father, about his potential, him going to this school that he isn't really used to, and you see him failing on purpose so he can go back to his old school or go back to a different school. And so that kind of plays into the parallel with him being Spider-Man, where it's like, hey, finding out your own potential and finding out where your space is. You don't have to be like every other Spider-Man. You don't have to be like everybody else. You have to find your potential and take that leap of faith to find that potential. And that is why I believe it is better than Spider-Man 2, or I would put it above Spider-Man 2 in this situation. It was different than anything that we ever got, and it did it in an amazing fashion. No pun intended.
Well put. But Spider-Man 2 has to be one, simply because when you look at this movie from a child's perspective, of course you have the action scenes, you have all the great fights, the him and Doc Ock fighting on the train, which is, in my opinion, the greatest Marvel fight scene of all time. I said what I said. The greatest Marvel fight scene of all time.
You might have some haters on that.
You won't find one better. But to me, the bridge of the movie, the middle of the movie, where he decides, where his powers stop working because he's trying to decide. He's split. He's Peter Parker and Spider-Man. They're hard to coexist. I think as adults, we go through what Tobey Maguire was going through in that movie. You ever have a passion for something, but you also have a job at the same time? So you're realizing my passion isn't getting me anywhere. It's making me struggle. And you see that his passion, or his indeed responsibility to be Spider-Man, was making him miss dates with Mary Jane, was making it harder, pushing people away that he couldn't be with. He was failing in school. And so he has to make an adult decision of, if this is not helping me, maybe I should do something else. And it takes everyone being in danger and him having a coming to Jesus moment to be like, hey, I still have a responsibility to do this, showing you that with great power comes great responsibility.
Oh.
Yes,
I like how you brought that in. I like how you brought that in, which is very true. I agree with everything that you said.
But it's, to me, it's really just the internal struggle, because it's just one thing if you see Spider-Man struggling, maybe with a villain or something like that, he gets beat up. And I'm just being real, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man gets beat up on first appearance all the time in his movies. I think this is the ongoing theme. But it was I'm going to quit. I'm going to stop trying to be Spider-Man. My powers aren't working anymore. And you see the trash can in the suit stripped straight from the comics.
Right.
Those things you really don't see a lot. You don't see your favorite hero quit in a movie, right? So, and that's what happened. He had to come all the way back, and just to see that, to me, is what makes that movie so great.
I would also argue when it comes to sacrifice, I think nothing does it better than Gwen Stacy and TASM 2.
Yeah.
So I would push back there a little bit, but I also think that Into the Spider-Verse was almost a phenomenon that took over, like initially when it came out. And I feel like I can watch Spider-Man 2 and Into the Spider-Verse, but I always find myself going back and watching Into the Spider-Verse more often than not than Spider-Man 2, in my personal opinion. It really, it's like I said, it's kind of hard to pick, but I just think that Into the Spider-Verse was done so differently to where it's like it was its own unique experience, and I feel like the attention that it garners from even going into Across the Spider-Verse and us begging for the next movie to find out what's gonna come out next or what's gonna happen next, I think, or just bringing the Spider-Verse just period into like real film is like, you know, it's transcendent in my opinion.
Yeah, I just think the moments in Spider-Man 2 to me is what gives it just a little bit of the edge. And I'm not just talking about the train scene. Even when Harry gets Spider-Man delivered on a silver platter after he loses that fight, him stopping the actual train, the people coming together and saying that they don't care about his secret identity being out. They still want to just protect him because of what he does from the city standpoint. It was just everything you would want in a superhero film. I think Spider-Man 2 gave you.
I could say the same thing for Into the Spider-Verse though.
You could.
Just saying.
It's a nitpicky thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
thing, but I think Spider-Man 2 gave other superhero movies the platform to take those routes.
That's true, but does it make it the better film?
In my opinion, it does.
You can say that, but I also think that Into the Spider-Verse is probably the greatest animated superhero movie.
There's not a lot of animated superhero stuff.
That's true.
As far as movies that you see in the theaters, of course.
But that's what I'm saying. I think that it kind of opened the door for that, though.
It did.
Is what I'm saying, because usually people would look at that and think it was a kid movie. But no, like it broke records.
It did.
Soundtrack, come on now, like.
I'm sorry, Spider-Man 2. All the Sam Raimi Spider-Man is gonna have you beat in soundtrack.
Sunflower?
Listen, I know you're talking about this individual song. I know you're talking about.
Am I dreaming?
I get it. Metro Boomin did his absolute. Trust me, no, I'm with you. But it's something about you hearing those horns, Spider-Man running off top of a building. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about.
The leap of faith, Miles.
I hear you.
What's up, Danger? If he's swinging.
Hear the trumpets. If you hear the drums, I'm trying to tell you. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man just had it. They just had it.
If Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man had it, why is it such an open discussion over who's the best Spider-Man? To me,
is there an open discussion?
I think there is.
Over the live action ones of who's the best?
I think there is. I think you would go on the internet and find
crazy. You'd be remiss. You'd be confused if you think there is a better live action.
Some people would
listen.
Some people would fight you on that.
I enjoy all three Spider-Mans. I don't like Tom Holland. I probably like the least out of the three. But let's be for real, okay? Let's be for real. When we get to talking about Spider-Man movies,
some people will fight you on that.
Okay, sure. They're all after Gen Z. They're probably the only people who would fight me after this. Everybody Gen Z and down will wholeheartedly say Tobey's Spider-Man is number one.
You said Gen Z and down?
As in before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just being for real. But as you can see, we can go all day.
Yeah, we can literally. I still got some more stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got so much stuff. But the video can only be so long.
Right,
you know?
But we're definitely excited for Brand New Day. We hope that it is. I hope Brand New Day breaks into the top 5. I hope it's number 1. I hope this is the best Spider movie we ever get. I really do. I mean, they're breaking out everything. They keep showing us everything that's gonna happen in the trailer. So I mean, you got Hulk and Punisher, maybe Daredevil in the movie as well. You better not miss. You better not. That's all I'm saying. There's pressure.
They do be showing a lot in the trailers. They show a lot.
I better be surprised at something. That's all I'm gonna say. Come on, Tom.
Do we lose Spider-Man?
Maybe. We'll have a reaction video to the movie,
yeah.
I'm sure. But definitely down below, give us your top 5. Tell us what you think is the number 1 Spider-Man movie, especially between if you got Spider-Man into the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse or Spider-Man 2. Let us know down in the comment section below. D'Angelo, you got anything?
I know, just like the video, share with your friends, and just stay tuned for that Brand New Day video.
You're gonna put some dirt in your eye. All right, so.